You're really close with your in-laws, aren't you, Frankie?
Yeah, it's funny. I think in-laws kind of get a bad rep, don't they? They're like kind of the butt of loads of jokes, and I think, you know, I am lucky. I do get on really well with mine, and it just kind of has evolved with time. When I met Wayne, his mum and dad were always around already, and I was still really busy working, so I was quite happy for them to be in the house and, you know, keep everything running. And I think the minute we had kids, that just became invaluable for me because they've become our childcare.
Yeah,
they help.
It's next best thing to you, isn't
yeah,
it?
they help around the house, and the kids loved it. Like, I was really close to my grandparents, so I really loved that for them. So I am really lucky, and I'm sure that I get on their nerves just as much as, like, they've got on my nerves in the past, but I'm really easygoing, and I just think the good outweighs the bad. But our situation is quite, you know, unique. I know a lot of people
I think there are a lot of families up and down the country who do live in multi-generational households, and perhaps the beauty of it, which, you know, you always talk about it with such honesty and such beauty. Every time you talk about being with your in-laws, I just think it's really beautiful. Yeah. And I think it's something that you represent a lot of families in this country who do live with their parents and kids who do live with their grandparents. And I just think it's a really beautiful situation to be in, to be honest.
Yeah, we're lucky. And we don't have our own wings, as some people might think. Because I've heard someone said that to me before, and I'm like, we honestly don't, yeah.
So your in-laws are in the shed, aren't they?
Yeah, no, they're in the shed, yeah.
And Gary has a really lovely relationship with your mum,
They have a bit of... They're like a comedy double act, Gary and my mum. I mean, Gary's mum was delightful. She's no longer with us, sadly. I don't think I ever had a crossword with her. She was just lovely. Gary and my mum, yeah, he calls her Clampit. So, is that from the Beverly Hillbillies, maybe? I don't know.
I don't think anyone knows.
He always goes, all right, Clampit. And she sort of goes, what are you on about? So they have quite a little sort of spat relationship going on, but it is really sweet. And when she was, she had a hip replacement in hospital, and it was right when we were due to be going on a big family holiday, and I'd not had a holiday, and I was really looking forward to it. She'd had her op, so I knew she was OK. And Gary said, look, I'll stay behind. He said, you take the girls away for a trip. I will stay here and make sure that Clampit is all right. Nice. And so, you know, yeah, he's there when it's needed, and I think they actually secretly like each other quite a lot.
Like, I absolutely adore my my mother-in-law, and we speak to each other regularly all through lockdown, and we can be on the phone for like 2-3 hours at a time. And she has a weekly date with my aunt every Thursday through lockdown, and they talk to each other every Thursday evening and catch up. And it's been a really lovely connection that we all have. And I guess not the difficulty, but unlike you met Wayne when you were a lot younger. I was sort of, you know, very much my own person when I got together with Andy.
Like me.
And I think I realised that Andy's probably chosen someone that's very similar to his mum, but independently thinking, very confident and knows their own mind.
Yeah, yeah.
I think me and my mother-in-law are very similar in that way. But Kelly, what's your relationship like with your in-laws?
Oh, you know what? I'm so fortunate. It is wonderful. It's just, I'm so fortunate because, you know, my children, for example, like during busy times, I would literally stick them on Skype, and then, you know, Grandma and Grandma Judy and Mike would just be reading to them. Oh, happy anniversary, by the way. I think it's their anniversary today. It was, you know, they would sit and read stories to them whilst I'm, you know, doing other things in the other room, and they'd be like, you know, I'm so fortunate. They are incredible, and I've got really good relationships with, you know, sister-in-law and all of that. So for me, it's like one big family. When you get together, when you bring two families together, it's really important, I think, to have that shared relationship, share birthdays, share everything together, and then the children in that situation get the best of both worlds, and they get to understand the cultures from both sides as well, and the different ways of doing things, and they get the best of both. So yeah, for me, I'm really fortunate.
Oh, bless. I think we all deserve a gold star from our in-laws for this chat.
Well, we couldn't say we didn't like them, could we?
Which one of us would dare? I can't stand them.
Yeah, well, like, imagine those phone calls when the show finished.